to anybody that's watching. Hello, hello, and hello. Back for another week of the Inperspektev podcast, where we try to discuss a bunch of different topics depending on the week. This week happens to be video games and the current news, and we want to get everyone's different perspectives on these different um, topics. So, with that being said, I'm here with my boy Liggett, whichever one you want to call him. I'm Tevin, and we might have a few other guests show up a little bit later in the podcast, but this is what we got so far. Um, go ahead and just jump straight into it. I had some memes, and I was hoping people would be here for it because there's like a lot of cool things that actually popped up this week
Yeah,
because of the inauguration and everything else has been happening.
yeah.
So I'm a little bit sad that we all don't get to enjoy these together, but is what it is. We'll take it as it goes, and we get to enjoy them.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm gonna get this popped up real quick and present and share screen. And so I present the first edition of memes and tings. Memes tings. Okay. Alrighty. So
we,
what's up?
as I said, we still good.
Yeah, we're still good.
All right.
You take this part back. I just randomly seen this scrolling through Facebook the other day.
Yo, is that Blackwell Grandma?
Right?
Yo,
Like, isn't that pretty sick?
yo. What is
So
it, like a statue?
yeah, I think so. Just made out of like a bunch of scraps and stuff. Like for those who aren't familiar with Digimon, this is one of the coolest Digimon within the whole universe. I would say anyway. I don't know if you agree with that.
The coolest.
The
War
coolest.
Greymon is the goat. So,
Yeah, I would say he's a goat. I don't know. I can't say he's the coolest, but he's probably the greatest of all time for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, I just saw this random and I was like, all right, man. Like I don't
that's
know.
dope. I really like when people get like really creative and use different kinds of avenues and resources that aren't necessarily traditional. You know,
Mm,
especially when the result is something nerdy. I
right.
really like that.
Yeah.
So
Cause like at first I glanced at it and like other people were commenting and I looked through the comments. I was like, oh snap, that's pretty tight. And like you said, like it being nerdy does make it that much more appreciated. But
yeah,
I would love to see some more stuff like this, especially for Digimon. Like Digimon is probably one of the more underrated TV
the, for,
shows.
the forgotten stepchild of
Pokemon.
the great. Yeah,
Pokemon just took over. And then again, this week we seen the inauguration, so there was a lot of
yeah,
things that happened. Somehow Bernie just took over for the internet.
yes. mm, that's good stuff right there.
So I've seen this Pokemon
That
meme
is,
from way back when.
yeah,
That's how I had to edit
that
it.
is, yes, yes, that is good stuff right there. I'm loving all these Bernie memes. Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, whoever made this one, shouts out to them. Trainer Bernie doesn't want to battle.
Trainer Bernie wants affordable health care for Americans everywhere. Oh my god.
Then Bernie Cart.
Yo, oh my god.
Well,
People went all out.
yeah, like I'm saying, like he definitely stole the show for whatever reason, at least for the internet.
did
Maybe
you did you see that he put it on sweatshirts?
he who
Bernie, like Bernie Sanders put the meme of himself on sweatshirts and sold
no.
sweatshirts of that meme and sold out. And he sold out and then he donated 100% of the proceeds to Meals on Wheels in Vermont.
What the heck,
So
bro?
so
That's
he is aware of the memes.
dude. That's what's up. That's how you're supposed to go about doing it. Like when you're in that position, You really have to embrace that, especially if you did it for a charity too. Like
Yeah,
that makes it that much more
yeah.
mega mit.
Yo.
I didn't understand it at first. I was like, oh yeah, does have like these fat mittens on.
Yeah. Apparently, he's had those mittens for a couple years now. He got them from. I don't want to mess up the story or like downplay it, but it was a low like a individual uh artist who made those mittens
Hmm.
and uh for him, and he's just kept them this entire time. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Again, like I wish I could remember the artist's name who made them. So I don't really want to talk too much about it, but
yeah.
you know,
Walmart Bernie. I don't know why part of his head's
yeah,
kind of like caved in.
we try our best out here. It's all good. The effort, A for effort. Yes. Oh my
Good
God.
old SpongeBob sitting underneath the lamp. Oh my goodness, dude. I know Stefan would appreciate this.
Yes. Yes. These memes have been top tier, and I've seen them. Oh my God.
When someone says
Yo.
healthcare isn't right,
Yo.
like the combination of blending memes together,
Yes.
the Arthur
So many
memes with the
layers.
mitts.
So many layers. But I'm loving it. Oh yeah, and I seen a meme similar to this one, but I haven't seen this specific one.
Mhm,
But it was somebody commenting that you know, Kamala and Michelle looks like Katana and Melina.
mhm.
So I and ironically we were just talking about Mortal Kombat last week.
Right?
So you know, everything comes full circle, I guess.
Yeah. Like the other part was I kind of thought that Michelle, her outfit kind of reminded me of Magneto. I don't
Yeah,
know
a little
how.
bit. I can see it. I can see it because it's got kind of that pinkish, reddish, purplish, magenta hue to it,
Yeah,
and he definitely has that kind of color scheme in the movies. So,
like between that and
it's,
Scarlet Witch a little bit.
yeah.
Avatar
Oh my
the last
god.
Airbender. Good old Bernie inside the iceberg.
Yo, people out here just wilding, just ridiculous. Oh yes, here we go. The Resident Evil memes. I'm ready for this. Oh my god.
I just put a couple
I'm
in
a.
here, not to burst your bubble. I was like, pretty much everything you said, he was like super looty. I was like,
I mean,
mm.
that's the that's the that's the emotion. The emotion behind it is lewd though. So the internet's thirsting real hard for you know big mommy vampire GF. So
Why though? I was so
I don't.
confused. I was like, wait, what did he just send me? Oh, a 8 foot vampire that. All right, we'll take it.
Yes,
Nemesis, who's the other
I look.
character? It's like that's not Chris, is it?
Yes, yeah, it's supposed to be Chris. It's
Okay.
the version of Chris from RE8. But yeah, I'm loving these freaking Resident Evil memes. I'm just loving the hype around the game, honestly.
Hmm.
Like, it's one of my favorite franchises. So I'm loving that it's getting this kind of buzz. And yes, this one specifically.
This one I saw, I was like, yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah,
So Vampire Lair is all hot and whatnot, but like, is she gonna just transform into something kind of ugly later on?
it's inevitable. It happens every game with
That's it?
all the bosses. They always either involuntarily or voluntarily get transformed and mutate into some horrifying thing with tentacles and extra eyeballs and just all kinds of weird stuff.
But like,
Exterior organs on the outside.
you know, think she's just gonna transform into a bat, something generic.
Man, they better not.
And I don't know if you've seen this, but
I
turns
haven't
out
seen any.
One or Vision
Oh.
isn't actually red. It's just paint and
Well,
stuff on his face.
yeah, a little makeup mishap.
I
I
don't think
kind of wonder how long
I was
he
gonna say
has to.
I don't think he would do it the whole body
Yeah,
ever.
it's probably just something in hindsight. That probably somebody, because again, I think like the color of his skin and the amount of skin that's exposed is somewhat similar to the shirt that he's wearing.
Hmm.
At least, at least like when it's a still shot like this, you can definitely notice. But if it was in motion and they were like actually swinging, I feel like it'd be kind of hard to catch. You know what I
True.
mean?
That's definitely true.
But
But I don't
I
think
feel like that's
were they
probably.
even swinging in this scene? I don't know. Like I think this is just part of the opening credits. This
Yeah,
is
I
something
really don't
someone actually
remember.
fished for or something like that.
Yeah, I really don't remember seeing that shot specifically. And this, yo, I saw the memes about the Conor McGregor fight, and I didn't even know he was fighting anybody. That's how little I follow that.
Yeah, it's same here.
Just like I seen this specific meme when I was scrolling, and I was like, huh, he got knocked out. Oh, that's interesting for as much as he likes to run his mouth. So
Well, with everything else going on, like inauguration news and everything else, it's kind of hard
yeah,
to actually keep that
yeah,
stuff up to date. But yeah, that's all for now. There's going to be some other things that we're going to jump to, but yeah, that was that. Um, so other things, I really just want to talk about, I guess now the inauguration. I don't know if you watch much of it. I took a little glance. There's like a lot of decent things that happened there. One, nothing popped off, so I'm super
yeah,
excited about that. Um, all of the what was that, like 25,000 National Guard members showed up,
yeah,
posted up. Everything was all secured and everything for the week, and I still think it's going on right now as far as having the National Guard there. So cool that nothing popped off. Then we had our young poet that got
yeah,
a lot of attention. And aside from that, really just the normal presidential and vice
yeah.
president swearing in and everything. Um,
Lots of pageantry.
yeah. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on any of those things.
I didn't get to see the inauguration live, but I went back and I looked at like obviously the memes and like the highlights and like um when he started signing executive orders. I went back and I researched up on that.
Hmm.
I think a lot of that is good. A lot of what he was saying about the executive orders he signed, uh, I feel like he's kind of just checking off boxes. Because it felt weird to me how he was like pinpointing specific groups of people when he was talking about like unemployment and eviction rates in certain ethnic communities and ethnic groups in relations to like the COVID problem and the economic effect that COVID has had on the country.
Hmm.
And he kept bringing up like the statistics of black households, Hispanic households, and stuff like communities and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, like I see what he's doing. He's it's not like it just seems like he's checking off boxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's saying buzzwords and certain phrases on purpose on camera so that it sounds good. But the other side to that is that he's actually doing things that help these groups of people. So like a lot of these executive orders, like the one specifically that uh resonated with me the most was the right to refuse unemployment due to um concerns for personal health regarding COVID and still be eligible for unemployment because that's something that directly affected me toward the beginning of 2020. I got a lot of members of my family that are high risk, and we had confirmed cases at my job, and it really didn't seem. Again, like there wasn't really a whole lot of information regarding COVID at that time period, but just the way that they handled it is just, oh well, we just got to keep keep pushing, keep focus on business uh, rather than the safety of our employees. And
Hmm.
I literally just had to opt out of that job, and because I quit, uh, I didn't really I didn't qualify for unemployment benefits because it wasn't like my job went away. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So, and that's the thing, is that like people shouldn't have to be forced to choose between putting food on the table and staying alive. You know,
Hmm.
like that shouldn't be a choice people have to make.
Yeah.
So, and that's a very real thing that a lot of people who have had to struggle with, including me personally. So that's one of the executive orders that really like, uh, I really like felt like that was a good thing. So
Hmm.
I do think that he is kind of just checking boxes for kind of to stay in the good graces of the public. But even if
Is
these
it a
things are,
one-sided piece of the public though? Because like kind of based on some of the things you just said, focusing in on I guess the minority communities. I would be included
yeah,
in that community.
yeah,
So because I know a lot of people would take offense to that that are on the other side of that.
yeah.
So
Like but that's the thing, is like, even if it is performative or he's just doing it for the camera, like it's still helping. You know what I mean? And it's helping more people than just minorities or marginalized groups of people.
mm,
Uh, so I feel like even if he is doing it for the camera, he's still addressing the issues,
mm,
and a lot of these issues were straight up being ignored before.
mm,
So regardless of the intention behind it, I still think it's a good thing.
right.
So I'm trying to be aware, informed, and like I think we need to be vigilant and critical of what Biden is going to do. Just because Trump is gone, we can't just act like everything's going to be perfect now. But
Yeah.
you know, I uh, I think it's things are going in the right direction. So that's as far as like, I didn't watch like the actual inauguration, so I didn't see like all the performances or whatever. But I was researching
J-Lo.
the executive orders, and the executive orders are what I was really paying attention to.
Mm,
So
okay.
I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. Okay. So on that topic, I had one executive order because one thing I've been seeing throughout social media during the week is the kind of the negative aspects of Biden signing some executive orders. So, for instance, there's a pipeline that was being built between Canada and United States. I don't know if you heard
Right.
about this or if you've
Yeah.
seen the executive
Keystone.
order.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
Keystone XL pipeline.
yeah. So the Keystone XL pipeline was being built, and Biden signed an executive order that would end the building for that pipeline. And I think the reason behind that is really for climate change, which was written in an executive order based on what I read. So we're stopping
Mm-hmm.
this so we won't increase the rate of climate change. There's people that don't believe in climate change. There's some people that do, and then there's people that believe it does happen, but human beings aren't a direct factor to it increasing in speed. Um, so for the people that ended up losing their jobs for that, I feel for those people. Like there's some like 11,000 people that have lost their jobs because the pipeline has ceased being
Right.
built. Um, and that's hurting a lot of people. And it's
Right.
like, is that necessarily the right thing to do to take away the livelihoods of these specific people that are working on the pipeline? Like they have families, they're trying to make
Right.
ends meet and all that stuff. We don't know where the situation was prior to the pipeline being built. Like maybe they just got back on their feet. It has been a process being built for a while, but there might have added some more people that just got into a new job and they're trying to get back on their feet again. So there's all these different types of people that could be affected negatively, and I'm curious if we can like see the other side and focus on that and focus
Yeah.
on this side as well. Because
Yeah.
like
Well.
I haven't been paying too much attention to the news. Like I don't know if CNN is covering
Right.
this at all.
Right.
I know Fox News is probably covering this because
Fox News is going ham on it right now.
yeah. which like I understand like it's something that should be covered. Like it is affecting some body of people in a negative way.
Yeah. So I do agree with you in a sense that I do feel for those people who are being affected by uh, the uh, the halting of this project, and I do think that this is kind of again going back to performative politics. I think that climate change is very real. It's a very real issue, and it's something that the previous administration was just kind of ignoring altogether. We pulled out of a lot of we cut funding on a lot of programs to protect the environment. Um, and I think that while these issues are legitimate issues that do need to be addressed, it's also kind of performative politics, and it kind of tugs at uh, it's emotional for the people who probably voted for Biden. I would
Hmm.
say. Um, so on that side of things, it's whatever. But on the flip side, like I do feel for these people who lost their jobs. But the thing is, it's like this pipeline has been being built, and
Like 4 years,
also,
yeah.
yeah, it's also been affecting indigenous people on groups of Native Americans cutting through their land, and there's been all types of protests, and I mean I know you've probably seen the pictures and footage of like people being like tear gassed and whatnot. So there's like a whole other side of people on the other side of this who are just trying to exist
Right.
that have been directly negatively affected by the construction of this pipeline. So will it uh, take away jobs from the people who are building it? Yes, but I mean, we won't be tearing down the property and homes of people who were just trying to exist peacefully that are quote unquote in the way.
Right.
Uh, so and like honestly, like if all these executive orders come through and come down successfully, then and we can kind of contain COVID and get back on a good track economically, then we'll see job creation.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We'll see more places start hiring. We'll see the amount of business different companies and establishments are doing
Hmm.
start to go back up, and we'll see more job creation. We'll see more jobs open up. So like it's unfortunate, but at the same time,
It could open up a lot of new opportunities within pretty much the same industry, same field, and everything. So yeah, I
right,
definitely agree with you on that because that's something I've discussed a lot with my dad, or he's discussed with me at least. Um, there's a bunch of infrastructure stuff that will eventually have to happen based on one, roads and bridges are pretty old right now, and so there's always a time to fix those things. And then on top of that, with the booming electric vehicle industry that's coming up, and then there's going to be other clean energies being used for vehicles, and so we're going
right.
to have
So
stuff in place to actually fuel those vehicles because
right,
right now it's not really there.
yeah, I got you. But there's definitely, in terms of like research and development and like just engineering and planning and all that type of stuff, there are definitely benefits of taking the time to do the research and uh, the preservation of the environment
Hmm.
and research in climate change. And there are jobs in those fields, so we just have to invest in that because investing in that type of research will also create jobs.
Yeah, but
So
how
I
would you
mean,
get those jobs? You gotta go to college for that stuff all the time.
well, I mean, they might not necessarily need people to go to college for building these electric cars or building solar panels or any of that other stuff. That's all you got to do is you got to have blueprints or instructions, manuals, and you either put people in a plant or like on an assembly line, or you put people to work building these solar panels, electric cars. Like these are things that need to be built. Like sure, maybe you need a higher education to be like an engineer or a designer or these types of things, but um, it's not. it's not rocket science from top to bottom. You know.
True. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's kind of hard to get people to actually see it from that perspective. So again, hopefully everything works out in the end. I know we're only like what 2 weeks, well, not even a week, not even a week into the new presidency and
Right.
stuff being changed and updated, eradicated, whatever way you want to look at it. But
Right.
hopefully stuff works out in the end. Um, I'm confident it will, but there's always going to be some opposition to that, which is respectable. Most of the time, it's respectable, but there's times that it isn't as chill. Um, okay, so I think we should move on from that. There's a couple other things like Chappelle getting coronavirus. Supposed to be hosting a show in Austin, but he had the coronavirus, and I guess there's some other people, some other important people,
Right.
other stars there that were around him. So I'm kind of curious if they would end up getting it, but I think we should go ahead and just hop over that, as well as Bow Wow. I don't know if you've seen something about Bow Wow this week. Did you see that?
Yeah. 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 I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like Chappelle's been kind of, I know he's been getting tested regularly, and I know he's been doing like these outside camps, project type deals where he's like recording shows and whatnot,
Yeah,
and he makes sure everybody gets tested to go to these things. So I know he's been following protocols in regards of COVID testing. So the fact that he is getting tested and he did shut everything down once he found out that he was positive, I commend him for that at the
yeah,
very least. So
yeah. That and like I think he's testing everybody that comes in to try to watch it. So he's definitely doing things the right way. It's still depending on who you are. I know different people would say, "Hey, you shouldn't be having shows at all. Like you should be set.
yeah,
You got that Chappelle money,
yeah,
not Chappelle show money,
yeah,
but you got Chappelle money."
yeah,
But yeah, he's definitely doing the right thing about shutting it down. All right, so we can go ahead and move on to the good stuff. And by good stuff, I mean WandaVision. What you got like it?
yes. So we doing spoiler free or
We can spoil it since ain't nobody here to
all
be upset about it.
right, man. So
Spoiler alert though,
spoiler alert. If you haven't watched episode 3 of WandaVision on Disney Plus,
or
this
one and
is
two.
your spoiler. Yes, this is your spoiler alert right now. Either skip ahead or press stop. But we're getting into the meat and potatoes.
No veggies.
Um, no veggies, no appetizers, just entrees. Uh, Tommy and Billy. I told you last week that I had a theory about some Young Avengers stuff, and now we have two confirmed Young Avengers in episode 3 of WandaVision. Tommy and Billy are Wiccan and Speed, which are Young Avengers in the comics. They're mutants, also by the way, but they are Young Avengers, and now we have their confirmed existence in the MCU. So now we got all these things kind of in motion, and by the end of the show, I also found out that WandaVision is not 6 episodes; it's 9 episodes.
Okay,
Friend of
so
mine's
there's
friend,
no way it could be six.
yeah, a friend of mine told me that, and by the end of WandaVision, we're going to set up some stuff for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is the sequel to Doctor Strange. And we're going to set some stuff up in Loki. And, you know, lots of neat reality bending stuff. And I know you've seen some of the theories around the show and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm super hyped to see like the different connections to storylines from the comic regarding House of M and Mephisto and uh I'm super hyped, man, because I think the more we get further along, the closer and closer we are to getting a pseudo Young Avengers roster. Because we have Kate Bishop, who's going to be in the Hawkeye show, Miss Marvel, uh, Ironheart, like I said before, young Peter Parker. And now we got Wiccan and Speed, like and Kang the Conqueror. is supposed to be in Ant-Man 3. So we have all these connections to Young Avengers, or young, at least the potential for Young Avengers storylines,
Hmm.
because they still might call it Avengers 5 and just focus on the Young Avengers. But we have all these connections to Young Avengers related stories. And um
Word, am I on? Word, word.
Yeah, you're here.
Alright.
but but we have all these connections to Young Avengers stories, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Mm. I don't know if you caught this One Piece at the end, but and maybe it was in other episodes. I just wasn't paying attention. So the in the ending credits, they popped up like a green mask and a red mask. I don't know if that was in any of the other closing credits. Did you see that part like it?
No, I did not see that. I've been kind of skipping. I watched the ending credits all the way through for the first two episodes just to see if there was anything, and that
Hmm.
there wasn't anything that stuck out to me. So I
Hmm.
was like, all right, well, there's probably nothing at the end. So
Can
Okay.
I'm
you
gonna
guys
have to
see
start.
me?
Yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah.
Alright, word, word. I'm about to play some Third Strike and do some shit.
All right.
So,
I'm on pocket.
but
So if you see like a, yeah, if you don't see me, I'm shredding.
Okay, you're good, man.
yeah, man.
We're doing a podcast
I'm
right now,
gonna
Nate. Just lag up.
have. I don't know,
All right, keep going.
but
Oh,
but yeah, I am excited to see more, and I'm gonna have to start paying more attention to the end credits because I didn't even notice that.
Mm. Like I said, I don't know if that was in in any other episodes or not, but I was kind of thinking like maybe they were trying to allude to again Wiccan's speed. Because I don't know if Wiccan's colors are red or not, but from what I've seen, speed is like he has green, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I was kind of curious about that. Um, but yeah, there's like a lot of other things that I ended up reading up about Wiccan speed as far as if they are Magneto's kids or not, which like some people believe maybe in a different universe they are, but I've seen things saying that they came from religious Scarlet Witch, and then
oh shit.
she just took two demon souls
yeah,
to create them. And then there's the other part where, oh, not, I'm saying the wrong thing. Not Wiccan and Speed, but Wanda and Pietro.
yeah.
They're not actually Magneto's kids. My bad.
Well, they did a retcon a few years ago where, because like way, canonically they were Magneto's kids for a very long time.
Hmm.
But whenever like all the politics between like Disney and Fox started happening, and they were trying to move away from X-Men because Disney didn't have the rights to the X-Men.
Right.
So so having Scarlet Witch and having Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the MCU means, oh, how are we going to get around having to mention that these characters are actually mutants? And so in the comics, they retconned it so that, oh, well, now there's this weird wonky stuff, and they're not actually Magneto's kids. But they've also retconned it again since then, after like Disney ended up buying Fox.
Hmm.
So and honestly, I think what people want is their Magneto's kids explanation. So I feel like if they try to do the retcon, um, it's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Hmm.
So
And
what
they,
does what does Disney own now? And
That is actually a good question.
they own like what I should say what don't they own? Like DC stuff, I guess.
Yeah. So they own Marvel. I think they own either part of Fox or
and anything that was entertainment wise. So
Nat
like
Yeah.
Geo.
Fox, yeah. So Fox News is still owned by Fox, but if it was anything under Fox that had anything to do with entertainment,
Hmm.
Disney now owns it. So now Disney owns ESPN.
Hmm.
Oh
Disney
shit.
owns
Star
Disney
Wars.
owns, yeah, Star Wars. They own the all like the 20th Century Fox movie company. Disney owns that now, and it's
Yeah.
just called 20th Century. instead of 20th
Yo, I
Century Fox.
saw I saw a video today on my Instagram feed about what's this Stan Lee, how he like created Spider-Man. Like the dude, like he said he like saw a fly on the wall and was like, "What kills a fly?" Like a mosquito man. And we got the Spider-Man, and he said there was no teenage superheroes because they were all old, and he wanted to give them like difficulties, and he took it to the place, and they said, "Oh, there's never a teenage, superhero. It's all bad." Anyway, Stanley believed in himself, and he like created it, and then yeah, and then that's what it is today. Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the man.
it's definitely cool that they can make a superhero like that
Yeah,
because
I'll
like
say. I like how
representation is pretty good.
yeah, I actually for my I took a normal psych class in college, and basically one of our projects like for the whole semester was to diagnose a superhero, and I had Wolverine. I diagnosed him with borderline personality disorder and reactive attachment disorder
Why is that?
and stuff. So borderline personality disorder is when like your mood stabilizes very like up and down every day
Hmm.
somewhat, and then reactive attachment disorder is like he's kind of a loner, so it's hard to get him attached to stuff, and when he does, he leaves. So it was like a big deal that I think he joined the X-Men because he felt safe and he attached to it, and I guess he felt like no matter what it does, it'll always be there and not leave him. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I'm not saying
I get,
like I don't have like the greatest background knowledge on the lore of X-Men and I guess Wolverine specifically,
yeah.
but I'll say for the most part that makes sense.
Yeah. Like people had Spider-Man, I think his was like depression or what guilt or I forget what they diagnosed because of his like his grandfather died, so he had like
His uncle.
maybe some his uncle, sorry, so he
Yeah.
had some forms of possibly like PTSD, some trauma from how he could, stop it and how he like, and then I guess he grown up and how like everyone makes mistakes when we're not human, and then when you hit rock bottom, you just learn from those rock bottoms to make you stronger, and I feel like now he like is a more powerful superhero because of that, and I think
Hmm.
that whenever he goes catching bad guys, he's like, "This is for you, Uncle, and this is for myself, and we're gonna like get shit done."
Yeah.
So
I feel that. I feel that.
yeah.
All right.
So
Cool.
real
Cool.
quick, you're talking about One Piece. The last One Piece thing I saw
Wait,
was with Luffy.
no, Nate,
Oh,
we got
never mind.
structure, brother.
I'm sorry. I just kind of I don't want to run in here and just kind of troll and do crazy shit. Yeah, I respect your structure. Yeah. All right. You control the shots, man. It's your podcast. You do it up, bro. Yeah.
Alright.
Good shit. Good shit.
Alright. Anything else you want to add? Look at.
I know I kind of missed the end of that because I got a little bit, but I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
Wait, real quick before you go, it's just us three, or
So, well, if people pop in, they pop in. You know.
all right? Word.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
shit.
Some people said that they might pop in or not, or maybe not. So, whatever it
Yeah, I
is.
like that. It's cool that someone could pop in for like 10 minutes and leave. It's all good.
Yeah. It's like just different ideas coming through. That's all it's about.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know on Facebook Messenger. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Moving
we
on.
all fam. We all good. Ah, man. Do it up.
Got video games coming up next. All right. So this is kind of like the main topic of this episode. Um,
All right.
the
I like that.
thing that I really want to focus on is pretty much like how it's been an aspect of our lives. I can speak for myself. Like video games has been there pretty much probably since I can remember, like 3 years old at least, probably even younger than that. Can't really remember anything
Mm-hmm.
before that, so it's kind of hard to say. But I think video games are really, really important to a lot of people nowadays, and it's kind of
Absolutely.
showing based on how people are reacting to certain videos and how much the market is growing over like the past like 20, 30 years. Because like in the beginning, it's like pretty much this closet activity to do. You're not supposed to talk about it. And if you do, you want to talk about it to people that are like video game enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Um,
The old going to GameStop and buying a game, that PS2 game, buying Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it's always in the top right corner, and the guy's like, that's a rare one to be like 50, $60 for a PS2 game. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to buy it, bro. you know?
Well, then, on that note, then what is everyone's top 5 video games or video game series? I already know, Nate, that you're a MVC2 guy and Third Strike. That's gonna be your 2 games in there at least.
Yeah. Third Strike's 1, MVC 2, and then I'll think about 3 through 5.
All right, Lee, you got a list?
Yeah. So I was just trying to think about games that have like impacted me in a major way, or just like were a really big part of like my childhood growing up, or who I am today.
Hmm.
And so I got 5. Uh, my I'm going from 5 to 1. So like my 1 being my favorite, and then 5 being my least favorite. But my number 5 is probably Dead Space, and it came out on Xbox 360 and PS3 during that time. And they kind of built a very interesting lore around the franchise, and it kind of turned into something special. And just from a horror standpoint, because there's a lot of horror games that are kind of copy and paste, and they're very similar and not actually scary, and it's very hard to have a successfully unique horror game when you already have like powerhouses like Silent Hill, Resident Evil,
Real quick,
uh,
what system was that on?
Xbox 360 and PS3.
Oh shit, word.
And but so like just the horror aspect alone, I thought was really unique, and I legitimately like. There were certain times I couldn't play that game at night. Like I had to play it in the middle of the day.
They made like an anime about it too. They made like a
Right.
movie about it.
There's 2 animated movies. Um, there was a whole lot of promotional material done for it. There was a motion comic that was done for it. So that's probably my number 5. My number 5.
Hmm.
And a lot of
No,
stuff that copies that too, like you said.
yeah, yeah.
Like that's the OG.
Number 4. Uh, I had trouble picking a specific game for number 4 because I wanted to do Soul Calibur, but I wasn't sure which Soul Calibur I wanted to put on the list.
It could just be the
But
series.
if it's a series, then yeah. But if I have to pick one specifically, I'm probably gonna go with Soul Calibur 2, just because it's the one that got me into the series for
Hmm.
real. Um, and that's probably my favorite fighting game to play to this day, where I can actually feel like I can pick up, learn all the controls, and actually be good at it instead of just like button mashing. I care about I care about the characters. I care about the lore, and Soul Calibur has been a part of my life since I discovered it.
Hmm.
Um, Number 3 is Final Fantasy X, which came out in
That's a surprise.
2000. Yeah, 2002. I want to say it's like 20 years old, but um, it's one of my favorite games, period, in any genre on any platform, and it's a game I can pretty much replay or just play at any time and have a nice, relaxing time. It's got a really good story. It was the first Final Fantasy game that featured voice acting. Uh,
Hmm.
and it's a good meaty game. It's people like to complain that games aren't substantial in length or size anymore, and that's a good like 40-hour game from start to finish if you're like just doing the story.
Hmm.
And if you're doing all the extra stuff, you might be looking at like 100+ hours of content. So that's definitely a game I can go to when I just kind of want to chill and have a good time. Uh, Number 2, I was gonna say Pokemon Crystal, but I think I'm going to broaden it a little bit and just say the gold and silver era
Second
of
gen
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, second gen. Because like if you think about it, uh, that was like when Pokemon was at the peak of its popularity, and gold is like that generation. The second generation of Pokemon did something that hadn't been done before. They let you go back to the first generation region and catch all those Pokemon and fight those gym leaders over again.
Hmm.
So in terms of like actual game content, I feel like that's something that basically hasn't been recreated or redone in like they've kind of redone it since then, but it's based to me. It's basically just a rehash version of Gold and Silver, because I feel like Gold and Silver was like the most involved I ever got in a game on a handheld console.
Hmm.
And Gold and Silver, they introduced a lot of Pokemon that are like some of my favorites. Feraligatr is my all-time favorite Pokemon.
Hmm.
Um, Lugia is my favorite legendary Pokemon. Um, but I just remember taking my Game Boy everywhere with me. And they introduced Night and Day. All these different mechanics, so you had to play the
Yeah.
games at different times. Uh, but I think Gold and Silver was really like the height of Pokemon for me anyway.
Hmm.
And then obviously, I'm pretty sure if anybody watching this knows me, they saw this coming. But my number one,
Wait, where's two?
two is Gold and Silver.
Well, you said five Dead
Two.
Space, four, 10, Final Fantasy 10, three Gold
No,
Silver.
five was Dead Space. Four was four was Soul Calibur, right? Three was
Okay.
Three was Final Fantasy 10.
Okay, I missed it. I heard what you said, but
Uh,
I wasn't numbering
yeah,
them. Okay, I got you.
yeah, and so my number one is definitely going to be Final Fantasy 7. Just because that's the game that really got me into RPGs. That's the game that really got me into JRPGs.
Hmm.
And I have played that game so many times. Like literally Light Strife, that's my handle. That's what I go by on like everything. And the Strife, the second half of my internet handle comes from Cloud Strife, which is the main character of Final Fantasy VII. And you know, it's just a great game from a storytelling perspective to just the revolutionary things that it was doing at the time of its release and back in '97.
Hmm.
Back then it had cutting edge graphics for the time, and it's had a really impactful influence over pop culture as a whole since it came out. I know Robot Chicken's done sketches about it. I know there's different types of comedians and different types of cartoons and shows and movies that make references about it. I know Gumball did a FF7 reference.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, so Final Fantasy VII definitely impacted a lot of people, and I think it's apparent when you look at the remake and how well it performed and how many people were anticipating it.
Hmm.
And it was up there nominated for Game of the Year, and I think it was worthy of that nomination. So FF7 is definitely my all-time favorite video game.
Nice, dude. How'd you feel about the remake? As far as did it live up to your expectation? Did it live down?
Well, the thing I've learned about just content in general, whether it's video games, movies, whatever, is that your expectations are always going to be subverted in some way. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, obviously I had my expectations, but I have to kind of go into it with an open mind and expecting change.
Hmm.
So, on that note, I think for me personally, it really resonated with me, and I think it did a really good job of what it was trying to do because you can't just tell the same story all the time and just update the graphics or get better voice acting. Like you have to be able to re-innovate or just find a way to keep it fresh. Because there's people who played the remake that probably didn't even play the original. I know people like that who they grew up on like Modern Warfare 2 and like all these modern games, and they won't go back and play like some of the classic stuff. Like Super Mario
It's
64,
hard to
FF.
do that though. Like it's so difficult to go back and look at some of the old graphics and appreciate it the way that we can appreciate modern
Yeah,
games now.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of good games that came out in the '90s and '80s that are still like classics in terms of like gameplay structure or storytelling
Hmm.
that people just don't play now because they're not like, oh, 4K graphics,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
no loading screens or auto saves or stuff like that. Like, and I'm just like, okay, but you're missing out on like some really classic games that like helped build and define some of the genres that you enjoy today.
Yeah.
So, Uh,
Hold on one sec, Nate. You're muted right now. Because all I hear is game volume.
Uh, oh, I
Okay.
turned it down.
All right. Go ahead, bro.
All right.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good, man.
All right, cool, cool.
Nate, you have something to say?
Oh, oh, it's my turn. All right. Number three is X-Men Mutant Apocalypse from Super Nintendo.
yes,
X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. I have to look this one up.
Yeah,
that's a good choice.
yeah.
Okay. You have your other two? Are you still rocking on those?
Uh, oh shit. And one of them has to be the old Naruto games we all used to play.
Oh, the one for the GameCube, Class of Ninja.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
I like the second one specifically.
That one. Then I'll have to say honestly, the Halo trilogy, dude, or everything Halo. Just running it back at Teen Center. I wasn't the best at it, but like I vibe with that game.
Hmm.
And also Super Emulator baseball game. I used to play with my cousins all the time. It's like a baseball game on Super Nintendo.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to think what other games. Um, let me think here. I guess what is it? SNK versus Capcom or something or
Hmm. I heard that
oh
someone there's like a rumor or something saying that they might port that to the Nintendo Switch. I don't know how legitimate that is, but I did see an article or something pop up about that. So I think it'd be cool if they actually brought that back because I know a lot of people really love that series.
I'm getting wrecked right now on Street Fighter.
That'll
Good
be dope.
lord.
Yeah.
It's this guy
Uh,
called the Chef, and he's always really good, but never friends me. But I'll play him till he doesn't play me anymore.
All right, Nate. All right. I guess I will go. I didn't really make my
Uh,
own list. I should have made a list, but
well, those are my games. Oh my god, yeah, those are my games.
yeah. Um, I'm not gonna say like in order what my top five are, but the my like
Mm.
five super important games. I would say Pokemon is definitely on there. I would say
Oh
more
shit,
so
on like
the
the on the Game Boy and stuff.
yeah, I would say probably like the third generation, so Ruby and Sapphire. I really like the second one and the first one too. Like I have really fond memories of those, but the third one I would say specifically because like I remember that was the first time that I saved up money to buy something like super big,
right.
and
Yeah.
like at that time I was like super duper excited about it. Cause like we would get allowance, we had to do chores and whatnot as kids to get like a weekly allowance or every 2 weeks get an allowance. And I remember buying the cobalt colored Nintendo SP, the Game Boy Advance SP, and
Yep. Yep.
buying Sapphire with it on the same day. And I was like super excited to play that game for I don't know how long. And again, kind of like you, like it put so many hours into that game. Like I ended up getting Sapphire later on, I ended up buying Emerald, and then later on I ended up getting Ruby for Christmas. So in the total of all three of
Right.
those
Me.
games, I've put in like at least 200 plus hours on those games.
Yeah. And like again, like with like the Pokemon games, me and my brother Isaac, we always used to alternate. So if I got silver, he got gold. I
Hmm.
got red, he got blue. So that way we always had. And then Neil would always end up getting the third game in that whatever that generation was.
Hmm.
But uh, we always had between us we had all the games that we could trade or battle or whatever.
Hmm.
So
And then what else would I say? Smash Bros. For sure will go in there.
Mm, mm, mm.
Every single Smash Bros. Game I've either played or bought. Um, yeah, I'd say just about every single one. There's some of those like the module ones that I've played. I know there's a couple that I haven't played yet, but really love that game series. The idea of bringing together like all these different characters. Initially, all just Nintendo characters, but once I started to branch out, to start to include different series and whatnot, that's where it really started to blow up and start bringing different crowds and whatnot.
The old
well, yeah,
wave
man.
dash.
Uh, I just think it was a good idea because as kids, that's like one of the main conversations you have at school is, oh, my favorite character can beat your favorite character,
Hmm.
Word,
you
word.
know, and Smash definitely gave us an arena to kind of act out those fantasies.
Hmm.
So I think it was
Yeah.
a really dope concept.
Yeah. You kind of saw like each person's own like character, who they are as a person. Like someone picks a character. Maybe that's how they like their moral compasses in the world too. You know,
True, true. I can see that.
that
There's a
that's
lot of
some
Kirby's out there.
that's some deep shit. Word, word. I
Ev-
always like Marth, the old Marth. Yeah, I
I,
know Ken's the best Smash player in the world. You can debate that, but Ken's the man.
I don't. Nah, we can smash that real quick.
No, you know the play. I'm not talking about the player Ken, not like the character. Like
No,
the guy,
I
the
know what you're
Jap.
talking about. You're talking about Ken
Oh,
as
word,
in
word.
like the melee player, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like nowadays, he would get smacked up by. I can name
Oh
like
my
five
gosh,
people.
yeah. I would say he's a good. I would say he's a good OG. A good OG.
Yeah, like there was people say that he's the best of all time, and Mango is a self-proclaimed
Mm.
greatest of all time. He's a self
Did he play Fox? Did he play Fox?
Fox and Falco.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he would fucking like shoot you, then grab you, then grab you, then shoot,
yeah,
grab,
dude,
and
you
then he
get
just
messed
fucking.
up by him.
Then he just got pooped on. Yeah, personally,
But yeah, Smash Bros is definitely on my list.
that's
Um,
fucking solid as fuck. That's a good. That's a good. That's a good one.
yeah. So
Brings
those
back
two,
memories.
Pokemon, Smash Bros.
So,
I would
Pokemon
say
Smash number
Halo for
three.
sure. I
Yeah.
remember putting a lot of time in all three of those games with my brother, and even like you said, Nate, people at Teen Center, and
Yo, real
even
quick.
alrighty. But yeah, with Halo, played a lot with a lot of people, put a lot of time into
Mm-hmm.
it. The storyline, I can't really speak too much about it, just because one, I didn't really focus a whole lot on that. It was more so the action than anything else, and being able to compete. That's why I like Smash Bros as well, just being able to compete with people, and the aspects of just having fun and challenging other people and see if we can get better and better at the game. Because like Halo definitely did that. Playing online, playing Halo 3, Halo 2, get smacked up by some young people, sometimes some old people, and people doing some ridiculous things, teabagging you midair while shooting you with a battle rifle in the head.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
remember plenty of memories on Halo, online. Sorry, online and going to tournaments and like I still to this day like I haven't fell in love with another shooter the way I did with Halo.
mhm.
Yeah. All Pete and all that stuff. Pete's the man, dude. I love that man. Big part of my childhood.
Yeah, but yeah, shooters are definitely one of the top genres. But I think that would be a topic that we go into next. So I have my three: Smash Bros, Pokemon, Halo. Um, my two other ones, I know I have an RPG somewhere in there, like an actual JRPG,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't think of it.
I mean,
Chrono Trigger.
technically, Pokemon's a JRPG because it's a Japanese role playing game.
True, but I
So
want like a true on non-Pokemon, like a kind of serious one. I really like Final Fantasy 13. That's probably like the one Final
it's,
Fantasy game I actually gave a chance and actually took the time to like play it the whole way through.
you know what, and that's a controversial opinion because there's a lot of people who don't like 13 because it's so different from
All the other
all the
ones,
other ones.
yeah.
But it's not a bad game. It's really
Hmm.
not a bad game.
The
And
thing,
like
go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say that I put a lot of hours into Final Fantasy 13
Hmm.
to the point where because that's one that I was trying to 100%, and I just didn't get there.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say that the one thing I really did like about it, because like pretty much the battle style for the old school Final Fantasy games and Pokemon is pretty much similar, except that you have uh 3 or 4 different characters that you can use in the battle at the same time. So I kind of
Yeah,
like how it deviated a little bit from that, where you can have your teammates fighting at the same time as you, and like the
yeah,
battle system in itself, how it was so different. Because like again, to your point, what you said earlier, that they can't just rehash the same formula over and over again. Um,
yeah,
I think that did bring in like a little bit of depth into it, because like that was the only Final Fantasy game that I personally was like, I want this, and I played it all the way through and actually put like a decent amount of time into. So
yeah.
Forward.
Yeah, I would say that. And then the last game I'll probably
What,
say
wait, real,
is
real quick. What game is that you talking about?
Final Fantasy 13.
13, 13.
Hmm 13, 13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the last game I probably say is either between. I'll probably say Street Fighter Third Strike.
Oh, really? Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Third Strike is definitely one of those games where it's like, if you get super deep into it, all the mechanics in the game, and you understand everything, like there's a lot of layers to the game. You really have to consume everything the right way and understand to be able to be like the best at it. And then the fact that they had all these different characters from different regions, which arguably they do that for like every single one, but that was the first one I really appreciated because like everybody was different. The music was solid. Um, again, the mechanics were like really, really good, and there was a way to win against pretty much every character. The one downside to it is the game wasn't super balanced. There's some characters that got like nerfed a little bit too hard, but that was in like the generation where you can't just, hey, we gotta download an update to make sure this game is stays playable for everybody because I'm getting tired of beat by Yoon every single game. But nowadays we could just download an update and everything gets fixed as long as the creators
Fuck.
are down to put that stuff out there. But yeah, I would say that's probably my top five. So I have
Hello.
Pokemon. What's up?
I was gonna say, what's up to Geo?
If he's here,
Damn.
young sir, young sir. Nope, all good, all good. Someone just slammed something. Nope, nope. Geo. All good. All right, we'll just keep it pushing then. Um, so next
Yo, what's up,
piece.
y'all? My bad.
Hey, there you go. You got a top five list of video games?
Ooh, top five list, top five, top five. No more heroes. Okay, no order.
In no
No more
order.
heroes. Uh, the series, I love the series. Um, Monster Hunter series.
Dude, you went hard at that, dude.
uh, yeah, when stupid. I would say my favorite one out of. I have a soft spot for Try because that was the first one. Uh, Wii, so it was a Nintendo system, and you could swim. And I'm not the best swimmer at all. I can swim now. I can swim now, but I'm not by any means the best swimmer at all. Um, so it was just like I felt powerful in the water. um, I would say definitely. I wish I finished the game. I had never finished it. But Super Mario Sunshine,
Ooh.
so dope. Uh, Fable 2.
Oh shit, I forgot about that game.
Fable 2. The first Fable was amazing, but Fable 2 just was like leagues better
Mhm.
than Fable 1. And then they dropped the ball, in my personal opinion, for Fable 3, just because it just, I wish it had more.
Mhm. I feel like a lot of people said that because Fable 3
Yeah.
didn't come.
So
It
you
came out
beat
on 360, right?
you beat
Uh,
all the Fables then?
yeah, I didn't play Legends, and that was like the, uh, it's not like an arena, but it was like a four heroes versus one villain kind of thing. And I don't even think that, I know the demo was out. I'm not sure if the actual game released realistically because
Mhm.
it just wasn't really. Um, and last one, ooh, I kind of rattled off those first four fast. I want to say if I could think of any game right now that's kind of near and dear. Mm, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take it back a little bit. I'm gonna go with Streets of Rage 3.
Ooh.
Uh,
Is that for Super Nintendo?
it was a Sega Genesis game.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, Sega Genesis. So me and Sento, we would go and play that game all the time,
Mhm.
and we it was like one of those first games where we found like a cheat or like a hack to get into the later levels. It was one of the first games, other than like I would say like Mega Man, where you beat a boss and then the boss transforms and comes back, kind of
damn.
situation.
Hmm.
Um, that didn't happen in Streets of Rage. What actually happened, if you played it on a harder level, you would beat the end boss and it would unlock more story. And then it had a secret boss at the very end, which was this robot that was supposed to be. I'm spoiling it, but the game is 30. But the
Are you
boss,
on 3? Is that 3?
yeah, Streets of Rage 3.
Word, 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 word.
The final boss was like this robot that was supposed to be like an Axel clone, but it was straight up robot, and it had all his moves. It could do moves from the other characters, but it was like so fast. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game was really, really dope. But we figured out how to, play that on easy because we couldn't. There's no way you could make it through that much of a beat 'em up with like 9 and whatever other modes they have for it.
Yeah. It's definitely kind of busted how hard they made those games.
Oh, super busted! Like you get hit once, like Turtles in Time. Everybody knows Turtles in
Yeah,
Time.
yeah.
Super Nintendo. You'll get your little 3 lives on Turtles in Time and make it, fool around, make it only way through like the first part of the level. You wouldn't even get to Shredder. Like you wouldn't even make it to the Shredder level. You barely get to the sewer surfing level
Mm,
before you start throwing tokens in if you're playing in an arcade.
mm.
But if you're playing at home, start button. I'm seeing.
Fuck.
Um, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty comprehensive list for my top 5. I'm thinking of other games now as I go along it.
Yeah.
Like there definitely could be like if I had a top 10 list, Def Jam Fight for NY. That
Yeah.
game was crazy.
They should bring
Like,
that back, dude.
look, they Icon sucked. I saw Icon and I was like, nope, not gonna do it. And I'm also not so sure if I would ever play another Def Jam game, simply because I feel like the characters, like the artists that you would pull from wouldn't be the same. Like right now,
You don't want Lil
we
Wayne in a fighting game?
I Little Wayne, yeah, sure.
You don't
But
want
Little Pump,
Champagne Poppy in a fighting game?
I don't want to have Drake come up on me and
You
be
don't want
like,
you want to get
I'm a
the
6 guy
Drizzy?
boy, just knock me out. Like they could do a Def Jam Fight for NY with battle rappers, because that would be harder. Like it would feel more dangerous. They
True.
can't make up a intricate story of deceiving people, and we got a whole gang in these streets with like, I don't know, Lil Uzi. Like it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. He would just be dancing the whole time. He was like, yeah, 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 yeah. Hit you with my special move.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
like
I'm
I
not
just, it's just
like
not.
no
Go
no
ahead.
disrespect to no disrespect to these people's actual music or like the people themselves, but I can't see like, oh, we got Kodak Black and Post Malone fighting each other, or what I mean.
Yeah, I
Maybe
can't see
So
that.
maybe it's
I
just like a world tournament arc, as if it's like in an anime to see who gets their song put on radio. Maybe they could spin it that way or something like that.
but
maybe.
still though, like it's just
No.
not believable because like and then on top of that, you got like the little pumps and the Kodaks and like the little Uzis or whatever, but you still have more traditional artists coming up in the same time as all these newer, like younger guys, I should say. Because would you argue? Would you argue that Kendrick and J. Cole are kind of the same generation as like the same generation of artists in terms of like when they came up? Would you argue that J. Cole and Kendrick fit into that generation with like uh Drake and Post Malone and all these other guys?
And
Yeah,
Post
I mean,
Malone, no.
Drake
Because you got
Drake came out when I was still in high school, but like Kendrick and like Cole, they were still making tapes. Like they were all making tapes around the same time.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
would think when their fame hit, their mainstream fame kind of hit at different times. Like J. Cole and
Yeah,
Kendrick hit around the same time. Drake hit a little bit before that in like '09.
yeah, yeah.
But
But
Drake and Kendrick were no Kendrick and Cole were like 2011 with their
yeah.
mainstream kind of.
But I guess what I'm saying, because like even like, because like when I think about like my favorite Kendrick albums, and I'm not trying to get like too off topic, but like when I think about my favorite Kendrick albums, I'm thinking about like that Damn period of time, or right around there,
Dude, that was like
or
four
like when I
years
think,
ago.
Damn is really recent.
Yeah,
Damn's
that was
like
like
last
three,
year.
4 years ago.
We're talking
or like,
about like Good Kid, Mad City, Section
but
80, like
I wasn't really hip to Kendrick when Section 80 came out.
yeah,
Uh, and when I think about J. Cole, like when I'm thinking about like peak J. Cole, in my personal opinion, is like 2014 Hills Forest Drive. Like,
Forest Hills.
uh, that's what I said. But
Said Hill Forest like
uh,
a Sonic map.
no, I said apologies, but so that's when I feel like yeah, I know these people were making music way before then, but in my head, I kind of put them in the same generation in terms of like rising stardom with like Uzi and XXX and Post Malone and because like you got to think about like people like Logic too. Logic definitely blew up more recently around the same time as like all the Lils and the trap rappers and all that.
I don't know. I feel like
But
he was still earlier than that. I would say like that 2016 and like 2017 freshman. Think of it like those what was it, the double XL freshman
yeah,
classes.
yeah,
Like if you were looking at those, you can kind of see those generational gaps where
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like where the rap that they were saying was hot for the freshmen started to change.
yeah. But I mean, even though like there's a double XL freestyle cipher that I don't remember what year it was, but it was like Kodak Black, 21 Savage.
2018. It was
It was 20. What the one with Lil Dicky was on it and Designer.
Little Dicky, Anderson Paak, and Designer. That was the hottest verse. That was the hottest cipher of the year, and it had Little Dicky in it. Little Dicky, I love Little Dicky. I
Yeah,
love Anderson Paak. I had to I didn't think Anderson Paak's freestyle was that good back then. I had to like re-listen to it later and be like, okay, this is pretty dope. Designer was no.
Designer, designer.
But then they had the one with Kodak. They had it with Yachty. They
yeah.
Yeah, can I say
And like,
my favorite? Can I say my favorite? One of my favorite songs. Is that what we're talking about?
Sort of, kind of, not
songs.
really.
No, not
Sorry.
really. Go, yeah, go ahead.
we just kind of got
Uh,
off on a tangent.
Yeah,
yeah, I love Drake the Motto.
the motto.
Oh my, what a song, dude! That was like my college that and like what was that ass song that AF. You know what I'm talking about, Gia. That one was good, and
That's Big Sean and
Big Sean, yeah, that one, and Beamer Benz and Ellie, Beamer Benz and Ellie.
Uh,
Beamer
you
Benson.
talk about Lloyd Banks. You talk about Lloyd
Yeah,
Banks.
yeah. You know all my shit. I just say a lyric and you guys are money, dude. Damn.
So you
Yeah,
got me
dude.
beat.
Not gonna lie, guy. I wrote a country song. I've been a good country phase.
You
You
wrote a
gonna
Yeah,
country song?
you
yeah,
gonna
real shit.
build that all the way through?
When you say yeah, I got like three verses and then like the chorus. You want to hear the first verse to it?
You
I'm
gotta
actually
play guitar.
interested. Yeah.
You gotta play
All right,
guitar. You gotta
all
play
right. It
guitar. You got a
goes.
guitar? Hold up. Where's
Yeah. Huh?
You got a guitar?
you got a guitar?
No, I don't. But do you want me to rip the first lyric, the first thing?
Yeah, hit it. Hit me with
All
it.
right, guys. I always, it goes. It goes. I always love the way the sun shines on your lipstick. How it glistens, it makes me so ballistic. it's the one I made you 3 Christmas. Hold on, let me see. It goes, um, I always love the way sun shines on your lipstick. The way it glistens, it always makes me go ballistic. It's the one that I bought you 3 Christmases ago. And then it goes, I love the way you parallel park. It goes, I love the way you parallel park. Nothing scares you just in the dark. I'm your shining sun, always in the dark. And then he goes, I love the way you braid your hair, the way you're sitting in that chair. You're looking so elegant in that. Oh, yeah, good. I love the way you braid your hair. You're always looking so elegant in the same chair, like an Amazon princess about to go on a dare.
Oh my
Yeah, dude.
gosh.
Dude, real shit, bro. I'm ripping it, bro. What do you think, dude? It's a good random shit. I like it, dude.
Bro, Lincoln is
Yeah.
killing me.
Dude, it's such a good. Dude, I think the opening is pretty good, dude.
Oh, bro.
You can
It's
say
going
it. I
somewhere.
think it. You can
It's
say
going
it,
somewhere.
shit, or
It's going
whatever.
somewhere. It's going somewhere. It's going
Yeah,
somewhere.
dude, the opening verses.
If we
I love the
That
way the
first lyric
sun.
was actually the first lyric is actually pretty good. Like the
It
first
goes,
bar.
I love the way the sun shines on your lipstick. It goes, I love the way the sun shines on your lipstick. The
the
way it
way
glistens, it always makes me ballistic. It's the one that I gave you 3 Christmases ago.
ago, I hear it though.
Uh,
It's like wow,
yeah,
moments ago.
and then the chorus is like, uh,
It's
I
you got to
never
give it
let,
like that
yeah,
raspy twang.
yeah, the chorus is like, I never let
Raspy.
anything happen to you. It goes, I'll never let anything happen to you because I'm always right here for you. Because I'm always right here for you. Because I'm here just for you, just for you, just for you. I never
Oh,
let
okay.
anything happen to you
Throwing in some
because
pop in
I'm
there.
always right here for you. And when I say, because I'm
You.
just for you, just think like I go, when I like that, when it says that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it like a like some
Like the
hi-hats,
like boom 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 boom.
hi-hats.
Yeah, like
Oh,
the
or
guy
the
hitting on
kick
the
drum.
bass and the drummer. Yeah, the kick drum.
You
It's
got the
like
kick drum thumping.
because
On a
I'm
country
here
song?
just for you. Yeah, because I'm here just for you, just for you, just for you.
Oh, like a
I think I
breakdown.
was I think yeah, I think I was like manic during my bipolar and I wrote it in like 2 hours. But that's real shit though. I'm saying I speak from the heart because you're my fan though. What do you think about like the because you're at Amazon? It goes like Um, I love the way you braid your hair, looking so elegant, sitting in the same chair here, like an Amazon just about to go on a dare.
Dare,
On a
Yeah, right?
dare?
Yeah,
dare.
a dare, bro.
It's not a
Yeah,
dare. Dare.
dare,
All right.
dare.
All right, let's get back on
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
track.
get back to topic. I
I
messed up
don't.
when I walked on. I messed up. We went elsewhere as soon as I logged in. All right.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
bro. Look at you were killing me, bro. You can't be doing that.
Dude, I'm killing you.
no, wig it.
Lego just turned it and
What a fucking track, though. And then, like, the next dude, what is a girl singing it? How she likes about me. Like, I love the way you ba, ba, ba. And then a girl sings, like, the next chorus, and then they both sing the same chorus. Yeah, dude. I'm feeling it, dude. Like, I get, like, Luke Bryan singing that. You know, Kelly Clarkson, you know,
there you go.
Kane Brown. Yeah. Honestly,
Send
at
it
the
to
end of
him.
the day, at the
Send
end
it
of
to
the day,
him.
at the end of the day in life, like someone can rip me $200 for that first line. That was solid as fuck. I don't care if my rest was trash. That first line was money.
I'll give you
That's it.
that
I
much.
like that. I
I'll give
like
you
that.
Okay.
that
I agree.
much.
Yeah, I'll sing it last time. I
We're
love the way the
good.
sun.
We're moving on.
I'm a little ripped right now, dude. The whole three
We
Christmases
moving
ago
on, Nate.
just
We
made it.
moving on, brother.
I'm a
We're
little
moving
ridiculous.
on.
I'm Nate Kreiser. I'm a little ridiculous. You
I
know that
need
from
you. I
like.
need you to chill out a little bit.
Like,
I need you to chill out a little bit.
What if someone patents my lyrics and this is on the radio and then
But
like I
they're
got that
stealing your
from the
credit card
podcast?
information too. You just
They
can't
stole,
get that out.
dude. They stole
you
they
put this
stole my
credit card
credit card.
information?
This
Who
man
They
did?
said,
stole my
"Go ahead."
they stole my credit card to pay for that song, and then it's on the radio, and I make zero money. Gee, are
You
you eating
lost
Girl Scout
200.
cookies? Are we eating Girl Scout cookies?
Oh, fuck wrong. All right, let's get back on topic.
All right, all right,
Yeah,
all
real
right,
quick. That was a sidebar. I feel like I gotta show you that. That was on my mind.
all right. Appreciate that, man.
Anyway, yeah, man.
The way
All
you
right.
God
breathe,
bless.
All right,
Hey,
back
what
to
a
the
fuck that track.
games. Back to the games. I
Yeah.
kind of want to talk about your favorite genres, but I don't know about that anymore. I feel like we need to go a different direction.
Do you wanna talk about your top 5 anime that helped you in your
Nah,
life and
today's
stuff?
main topic is video games, so we want to try to stick to
Alright.
that.
That's a
All
new
right.
podcast. Okay.
Yeah, different podcasts. We'll probably do that either next week or the week after that.
Alright, I like
All
that.
right.
I like that.
So let's talk about esports. I think esports is kind of something that's
Yeah.
interesting to talk about.
Yeah, what is that? Guys make a lot of money playing Fortnite.
Not just Fortnite.
It was before Fortnite, man.
It actually
Like
was.
Like the Madden football.
Like even
Madden
before
is-
that too. But
Madden
yeah.
was big. But yeah, esports kind of took off. We can talk about history,
Yeah.
but we can
Yeah,
talk.
do you? I know zero about it, so you guys tell me the
I don't-
OGs and
Man,
you can-
there's tons of competitive games out there, but
The biggest thing is like it started off not as lucrative as what it is right now.
I
no, we're
agree. I agree.
Just because
Yeah,
like the organization factor was just a bunch of grassroots people coming together, trying to organize a tournament. You know, they might throw in their own money, $100 here, $200 there, whatever, get a prize pool going. So just
Yeah.
that coming from where it began to where it is now it's a big difference.
Yeah, all those parents are like, get off those video games. You'll never make any life or doing that. And then they're like, listen, motherfucker, I make 20 grand playing this game. Come at me, bro.
basically, I would say
Yeah,
it
yeah,
started. Dude, I know. I can't even front, man. Some of the games that are really big right now, like Dota 2. I mean, not Dota 2.
League of Legends.
League of Legends.
Oh shit, I forgot about that game.
Uh,
Overwatch isn't as
Overwatch.
big, but it's still
Oh.
kind of big.
Yeah, it's decent. Then you have your Madden tournaments are, as far as I know, I don't see as many of them happen, but they're always big money.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they're always
Also, FIFA for soccer. is big.
FIFA
Yeah.
tournaments and whatnot, and then you have the entire FGC. So all your fighting game championships. You got
Isn't
your
there
Street
one
Fighter.
like you're a car and you try to kick a soccer ball around to score in a goal?
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what's it called? I see it all the time. Rocket League.
Oh,
that's a big-
okay. I was
yeah,
like,
that's
wait,
a
what
big
is he
deal.
talking about? But yeah.
Yeah,
He
my
said,
boy
I think you're a
Ken told me
car.
that.
You're a car.
Dude, I say random shit. I'm Nate Crazy. You know how I drop shit. I just fucking gave you a country song I wrote in 2 hours. But
Oh my goodness. But yeah, Rocket League, definitely League of Legends. Call of Duty's obviously a big thing.
Oh, the
Fortnite.
biggest one of the shooters is CS:GO. Counter Strike.
True. A little bit of a letdown for Valorant. I don't think it blew up as much as what people were expecting it to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
But
And then my almighty nemesis, Super Smash Bros.
Smash.
bro.
I love and hate that series. I love it because it brought me so much fun and just in general.
Mhm.
But as soon as you try to take something and take it to this point of I want to get really good at this, and then start going to the tournaments, you kind of have like a weird relationship with it because the game becomes a job, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to do this.
Mhm.
It's just seeing some of the people that are really so involved and invested in the game that they seem almost like robots after a while, or I can only play this video game for competition. I can't play it for fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like there's no
weird.
emotion in these players. They're not really having fun. It's like, it's my job. I got to do this. And
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to have some fun doing like Luigi uppercut and like repping some shit.
yeah.
And they're like,
I'm trying to hit you with
yeah,
this
and
taunt. This
yeah,
taunt
and they're
spike.
like, I'm gonna throw you with that fucking like, turtle shell. Get that gun, and they were like, no, I just want to fucking make $50 and win this tournament.
You talk about there's tournaments out there. You getting
Dude, I
Okay.
remember I had a tournament at Capital City Mall and I got fucking wrecked.
People go pretty
Yeah.
hard at that game, dude.
Oh, for sure, dude. It's a different world. I think the sorry if I intervene. I think that top tier character, from what I know now, following I forget his name, but it's like the Inkling girl, like the Inkling, the girl who puts the ink on you because it you know what I'm talking about?
Hmm
yeah.
I heard like she's like very very top tier.
Well, that was like towards the beginning of the game. A lot of things
Oh shit,
changed since
yeah,
then.
it evolved. Yeah, that's I'm behind the mark on that one.
Yeah, but yeah, the game has evolved a lot.
So who's top tier now? There.
I would say I think the top like three characters that kind of like unanimously been put there are Joker, Pikachu, and Peach, just because like they have decent combos, um, and then they get edge guard pretty well, and they have decent
Damn.
kill power, so they just have
The
like
speech,
go ahead.
the speech still have the golf club that she powers up and just.
They can transform into like three different things. There's like a pan thing and a tennis racket as well. But yeah.
Gio has a dog. I didn't even know that. You got someone else joining.
Hey, late to the game.
It's good, bro.
I
What's
miss.
going on?
For
There
real.
he is, Santo, the man himself, engaged. About to go to a wedding in like 5 years after COVID's not here. But
You miss a decent
yeah.
amount, man.
You missed me singing a country song I made.
Oh, jeez.
Yes,
I think that was probably for the best.
this episode
It's gone.
has
It's been and gone.
this episode has been degenerated so
It's
far.
it was his last. It was the last chapter. You missed it. The last chapter, and it's gone. It's gone.
Be okay that you did.
This
Gone.
Yeah, I've never-
It's come and gone. One time.
this
within a-
episode has
I
definitely
understand.
changed, bro. The vibe has definitely turned, but like this is good. I like this.
I feel like when I come on, it's like you don't know what to expect. I
You be
feel
coming
like.
on all lit all the
No,
time.
I don't. I don't.
I'm
know.
not that lit.
You're not
What, you
that
think I
lit.
come
You
on?
said you were lit earlier.
Nah, I'll be alright. I watched Tom Brady go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, they ended up winning.
Yeah, dude.
Anyone.
Tom Brady, the man.
Tom
himself.
Brady got bailed out by the defense, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about esports. Let's go.
Fucking
True.
esports. You lead us off, Gio.
True.
You lead us. Santo, dude, you guys are my fan forever.
All right,
Gio,
we'll bounce back a little
Gio,
bit.
lead us off. Lead us off.
Nah,
dude.
Sinto, I want to hear
I'll
what's
stop
your top five
Yeah.
top five video games
Oh,
of
you
all time
already-
series.
You already did that?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh, that's tough. I'm over here thinking that was anime. The top 5 video games.
Bro, I posted
Oh.
this twice.
Yeah, you did. Hey,
I didn't even
I-
see the post. I just rattled off
I-
4, and then I thought about the 5th one.
I glossed over it. I'm busy. I was busy this week. Okay.
We was playing Smash on my lunch break, and you talking about you busy. Come on. Don't hit me with
I only
that.
played you for like 30 minutes.
That's 30 minutes to think about it. Let me get two at least. I know you got two up top of your head.
Top of my head.
I feel like Persona's in there. It
I-
has a
I-
series,
okay.
not necessarily like a specific game, but a series. That was easier.
Okay. Series, yes. Okay. Persona in general. Tales of series. I would say Sonic, but I know I'm gonna get some crap over that. Like I have to keep an eye on what kind of Sonic game it is.
That's what I'm saying. You can
But
say the specific game if you enjoyed one specific one out of them.
Yeah. But there's a lot. Like Sonic 3 and Knuckles was like probably one that would be near and dear to my heart.
Oh yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is fire.
That Gio and I like went hard at that. Like we found everything.
So, there's
And the
Master
simple fact that you could save back then.
Super Chaos Emeralds. Oh,
Super
true.
good. Yeah, you
Hey,
couldn't
Super
save
Emeralds. Wow. Turbo Tails.
Turbo Tails.
Hyper
like,
Knuckles.
The only time Tails got a super form.
Y'all better bless my man up again. I'm talking to you, Sonic creators, which basically right now is y'all got.
Let's see. I would say Final Fantasy series.
Nice.
And
I feel like Final Fantasy, you have to pick a specific game out of the series.
yeah,
And
I
you
had
I
two
would
on my list. I had two on my
intervene,
list.
if I could intervene for 1 second,
Nah,
then you guys have the
nah,
floor.
nah.
give it time to think.
All right, go ahead,
Low
Nate.
key,
All right.
low key Kingdom Hearts when Kel got the crazy level he could glide. Like Kingdom Hearts, I felt like was a good look.
That's actually a good point. That was the game I
Cool.
was looking for on my list. I
Kingdom
was like,
Hearts?
See,
there is
I'm
I know
not.
there's a JRPG somewhere that's like that has some good storyline I actually paid attention to, and that was probably the one game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna audit my list and put an honorable mention. Edit, not audit. I'm not edit my list. The Bouncer.
The Bouncer was good.
It was like cult classic PS2 game when it first came
Only
out.
because of Duragon C. Mikado.
Duragon C. Mikado is such a
Only
savage
only
name.
because he is the original king. Like I don't care who tries to compare. Sephiroth, no, it's Duragon C. Mikado. Like you have to say his whole name. You can't just say Duragon.
You never say Duragon. His sister didn't even call him Duragon. Duragon C. Mikado, what are you doing? Let's go get lunch. And you never figured out what the C was. No one ever knows.
It's like Junie B.
It could be
Jones.
anything.
Santo,
like,
if you
who
had
is
to pick a,
Junie B. Jones.
If I had to pick what?
if you had to pick a specific Final Fantasy game, which one would it be?
7.
Nah. I want to say 7. 7 has my favorite characters, but did I go hard at it? No. I beat the game just because I knew Liggett would give me crap because I was like, all right, I really love Evan Children, and he was like, oh, you never played Final Fantasy 7 though, so I actually downloaded and played it all the way through. I got the ultimate weapon for like I got the bare minimum. I just got the ultimate weapon for Cloud and maybe did one of the weapons. I forgot one of the ruby weapon. Which one was in 7?
Yeah.
It's a
Ruby
weapon.
and Emerald's in the ocean, and Ruby is in the desert by Golden Saucer.
Yeah, I did the ruby weapon, and I did the bare minimum for that, and then I did the. You had to do the gold saucer to get the ultimate weapon, right?
It's been a minute, but no,
And I got
the ultimate.
I got Tifa's limit break because you had to do a mini game for that.
Yeah.
Like one of her limit
Yeah,
breaks.
you gotta do like, yeah, there's certain conditions you have to meet for specific characters because sometimes you can just miss it. Like I think Barrett's is completely missable because like Barrett's an ultimate weapon. You have to have Barrett in the party when it pops up because I'm pretty sure a boss drops it, but if you don't have Barrett in the party, you can't pick it up. So there are certain things that are just missable.
Okay.
But
As far as my 5th, I don't know. I guess games that are hype when they drop Devil May Cry. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forget. Devil May Cry series. That would be my 5th, but in no particular order.
Yeah.
Like when things drop. Oh, I could have said things. The things that I told my fiance that it was like these are games that I want to get, and these are games that I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
Things I want to get. Like if Persona drops, I'm gonna get it. If Devil May Cry drops, I'm gonna get it. So yeah, that was one of those. Like definitely Persona and Devil May Cry. Tales of, I'm gonna get it.
What if they made a Persona beach volleyball game?
The Persona. It depends on what it is. If it's a sports game, I may not get it. Like they had Persona 4 Dancing All Night. It's a rhythm game. I didn't get it. Like I'm a fan, and unfortunately, she looking at you. What's up, player? She came over. She's like, "Oh, you gonna get it?"
Yo, real quick, Liggett Sento's volume is leaking through.
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay, okay. It's not your fault.
You're good,
it's my fault.
Sento. Liggett
Alright.
got subwoofers on his ears.
But Yeah, I'm a fan of the series. Will I buy it? No, but if just like Kingdom Hearts, if I'm not interested in the gameplay or something like that, I'm just gonna watch it on YouTube and get the story. Because
Mm.
like what the Persona games, like everything that's involved in it, like even the fighting ones, like Persona 4 Arena, Persona 4 Arena 2, like the story is all connected to the 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 sequel that it branched, or not the sequel, the number that it
Yeah.
branches off of. So that's one thing you gotta pay attention to. So like even the dancing one, the story was connected to the Persona 4, Persona 4 Golden. It was connected to that, so I had to sit through that and the whole dancing bit. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, it is what it is, and that's what I like about the series. Like, and I was really hoping that they'll make a Persona 5 arena, but that's the hope and the dream, because everybody wants that.
Yeah.
But it's up to Arc System
I feel like if they
or
do that,
Atlas.
hopefully they would bring back a lot of the older characters.
Oh, they would, like, because they already got the sprites and stuff.
Mm.
So they just have to connect it to
Like the story in the game.
the character. Yeah, the story of the game, and they have to, like, I think the main problem, the reason why they didn't do anything like that yet, because they would have to make up everybody's backstory.
Yeah.
Because like when they did 4 Arena, the reason why they added the Persona 3 characters, they came up with their own backstory from the events that happened off game of Persona 3.
So you just
Like
make
all
up
the
anything.
well, it had to make up a story that made sense.
Yeah.
Like because like two of there was Akihiko and no, there was 3 characters. Akihiko, Fuka, and um Mitsuru. I think Fuka was in that grade. But Akihiko, definitely Akihiko and Mitsuru were the 2 older characters. They were the seniors. So at the end, they graduated. And then the protagonist and uh his friends in his class like went up to the next grade, and I'm not trying to spoil what happened, but 2 of them graduated. So in the events of Persona 4, that was I want to say that was 4 years after the events of 3. So they all went to college and they all graduated. And then one of the characters is still in high school now, because like he was in elementary school and then he went to high school. Yeah, so it was like about 4 years, and we had to write in what happened in college and why
Mm.
Akihiko was shirtless and got a scar on his chest and wearing a cape. Say he's out there fighting wolves and
Yeah.
whatnot. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, this is the reason why. This is the reason why he's a part of the Shadow Operatives, and him and Mitsuru are in that, and everybody from 3 is in that, and this is what they've been doing.
Mm.
And so yeah, you have to make up a whole elaborate story that makes sense to what the characters did in the original game, or try to branch off of that. And that's the reason why I think they're like holding off on 5, or I mean, they were supposed to do it because there were leaks about that. And I know I'm going on a tangent, but damn it, I'm gonna finish this.
Bro. This is what
They
it's turned into, so it's all good.
yeah. So they did leaks for 5, but I think this is the reason why it's taking so long, because they're trying to come up with a good story that won't piss off fans for each of the Persona 4 characters. Because at the end of Golden, they did a time skip in Golden, like because Golden was everything from the events of Persona 4, but they did a time skip in Golden, and you see like I want to say like a year later after the events of Persona 4, because they did a whole year for the Persona 4 Arena franchise, because they made that whole thing canon.
Hmm.
And you see the events of what happened after the arena, and it's like, yeah, things that happened during that summer was crazy, wasn't it? And it's like, yeah. And then that's how they decided to do. But they have to make everything make sense to that. And then, or they're going to have to, yeah, because they can't lump the whole year uh, of mess between Golden and Persona 4 Arena 2 and 5, because they're going to have to go after that, and they're going to have to make up stuff about what happened to the main cast in that. That's my theory, though. And they may not want to do it because they can't. What was Narukami doing? He just went back to the big city because he's a city boy. And then Yosuke became manager or something like that of Junes. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but
Everything's
I hope
great
they do.
at Fortune.
Everything's possible.
But yeah,
Expected impossible.
I would hope that they do 5 cent. That'll be.
I'd be interested in that. I still need to play the Persona games, but
Oh, that is a time investment.
yeah, it's on my infinite list of games that I may not ever get to, but I keep
Was that
saying I have a
Persona?
list. Yeah.
Yeah,
Word.
All right.
you just yeah. Go ahead.
We'll
The whole thing.
do one more kind of subtopic, and then I think we'll close out here. Um,
Do it up, man.
I had some ideas, but
No, say what you gotta say, man.
nah. I'm changing it up. Trying to be spontaneous, dynamic. Um, I kind of want to just close up on how like video games really affect us, and I guess affects the world, whether it be like positive or negative, like regardless of what it is, like what we think video games has done to society and I guess ourselves personally. I'll go last on this. I'll let whoever wants to start could start.
I could start.
I'll start.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
let Nick.
go ahead. It's all.
You gonna
You
start?
ain't been here, so
Oh, okay.
you got it.
Yeah, I figured because I have been here for a little bit. Video games are a terrible addiction. I'm gonna start with that.
That's legitimate.
Bro,
Terrible addiction. Um, but it is a great way to kill time. It's a great way to if you do it right, you can immerse yourselves in like good stories. I would dare say it's equivalent to like a good book, depending on what kind of game you play.
Hmm.
Because you can use it to um like for your daily life. You like use it for math and whatnot. I've seen people like do things like Math Blaster for one. Math Blaster. I loved that game when I was a kid. I
Hmm.
used it to strengthen my math skills. Um, there are also other games you can use to increase math skills, and that's one thing I could just like relate it to. Like if you play in like RPGs, you can say, "Oh, okay, if I were to take my attack, which is 100, if I add 100 attack, that's 200, right?" And then you
I
say, "Oh, but
legit
it's
only
times
know.
two."
Yeah, I legit only know large number. I only know how to add, subtract, divide large numbers quickly because of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh is another good example of that. Yu-Gi-Oh is another good example of that. But you start to get like deep into stuff like that, like uh like fighting games. Like everybody's HP bar is a like a specific number, and then it was like, oh, you do 4K, 4.5K of damage with this with this attack. It's gonna each attack does 1600 or something like that. Oh my god! Like there's so many things you could use to relate video games to, but I was just using math as an example.
Hmm.
But
I was like, for real, there ain't that many people out in the fighting game world that'll be like, oh, at 44.5 damage on his bar.
You'd be
uh-uh,
surprised. People
these
are
people are
There's
optimizing
not
gonna
tons. There's
like
no
not
these
tons.
these
There's
hardcore
a
players.
yeah, hardcore
They
like
there's
were like, nah,
esports
there's not
players.
tons.
yeah, they were like, nah, if you don't land this combo specifically, you're not getting that damage out, that optimal damage output. And
Oh, I get
don't get me
that.
started on Final Fantasy because they these guys are crazy.
Oh
Hardcore
my
ones like Final Fantasy 14 and specifically like they are MMORPG type people, like they are. Say, yo, if your damage numbers ain't right, say you need to boost your damage up like 0.2%. I was like 0.2%. Is that gonna affect anything? Yes. I'm like, oh. Well, I guess I'm gonna apply this materia so I don't
Oh
look
my
stupid
god.
out there. Because we would kill the boss 10 seconds faster if you applied this materia on your set. I'm just like,
Oh
okay.
jeez.
Did anyone ever play the game Adventure Quest on like the PC? Right. Disregard that
Yeah.
message.
No, tell us what you gonna say about it.
Mm. I kind of like those games like you attack, then I attack, and then it's not like I don't verse anyone. It was just kind of like one of those games where like it's like you attack, then he's attacks, and I don't know, dude. This is pretty cool. You can look it up if you want to, but I'll think of one more game before this podcast ends. So,
What's
what do you think my guys' strengths? What do you think my strengths are in video games besides Third Strike and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Oh,
That's
I have one more. I have one more game.
we're getting back to the topic, Nate.
Dance
N-
Dance
All right, we're getting
Revolution.
muted, Nate.
Oh
It's
shit! I'm
getting
sorry.
sidetracked.
Staying on the topic. If you have something
Okay,
pertaining to
but
the topic,
I'm
feel
I'm
sorry.
free to
I'm
gonna
share
sorry.
that.
I'm gonna just wrap mine up. So
Wrap it up.
I believe like video games affecting at least my life. It's a good and bad thing. It's better to play video games. Um, it's best to like limit yourself. I would say that in general to everybody because I've seen people, um, children specifically, like get addicted to playing video games and then that's all they want.
Hmm.
Granted, there's that point in time where I was just like, dang, I just feel like playing a video game,
Hmm.
where I just feel like want to sit down and play a video game, but you really shouldn't because you should be doing something else.
Yeah.
So as long as you limit yourself, I don't see a problem or a problem with video games at all. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
All right, look it.
I'll just get my final
Okay,
thoughts
that's
out of
cool.
the way. I know I went some crazy shit on this podcast, but I'll just have to say that video games can be a good healthy stress reliever and a good coping mechanism if you do them the right way. And I think that they can be a good part of your life and meeting friends and have a good moral compass and just doing good in the world. And I think video games are a big people's lives because it brings people together. You have a family, and that's all I have to say.
Word, man. That's real talk. Lig Geo,
All
whoever.
right. So I will say I'm kind of gonna piggyback off a little bit of what Nate and Sento were saying
Hmm.
because, like, yeah, I mean, you can get addicted with video games, but you can get addicted with anything. And I really don't even want to use the word addicted because video games historically have this like the stigma attached to it. Like, oh well, like if you're spending your time playing video games, that's a negative use of time spent. So I feel like because we don't say the same thing when you're like, if you spend all day reading books, we don't say that that's like a bad thing to do,
Hmm.
because you're you're not necessarily educating yourself, but we don't books and video games don't have the same stigma attached to them, or even like video games and TV or like movies or music. But like just kind of piggybacking off of what Sento said about like the storytelling aspect, like yeah, some of these video games have uh deep immersive stories and worlds that you can just kind of uh immerse yourself in and just escape for a while. Um,
Immersive worlds to immerse yourself in.
yeah, shut up. But,
Immersive.
it's a good way to escape for a while. You have a long, stressful day at work or school or whatever, and you want to come home and just unwind and forget about everything. Maybe you got a raid you got to get ready for with the homies. Maybe you got like a dungeon you got to get through, or you're trying to get a specific achievement or whatever. Like I think video games are definitely a good stress reliever and definitely a good escape. I will say that you should limit it just like anything, but I don't think that I like you should definitely spend time doing different things and place healthy limits on things, but I don't think it has anything to do with video games specifically.
Do what you
Because
love.
I think video games have uh the same kind of creative power that a good movie or like a good book does, or a
That's
good
true.
TV show. Um a lot of work goes into making video games. A lot of work and a lot of time and money goes into the video game industry, and it's definitely broken into the entertainment industry as kind of like a different angle to tell stories, and it's given people jobs that you know it's given people jobs and ways to tell stories that may necessarily not be greenlit in Hollywood. Or maybe like a big Hollywood studio isn't gonna spend money to make a movie about the story you want to make into a video game, but you can go get like a team of 12 people and make a game about it. You know what I mean? And you
Mhm.
don't really need anybody's you don't need any big company to back you, you know what I mean? As long as you got the resources. But uh so I think it's a very interesting way for people to get out into the mix and tell stories and, uh give us their creative vision. So, and as far as like impacted me, like, I fall in love with specific characters that directly influence like the type of person that I want to be, or so classic stories
Fuck
of good and
yeah.
evil, and
Fuck
um,
yeah.
so I think it's definitely impacted me in a positive way. Um,
You trying to be a dude with a big sword?
I just want to walk around with my chocobo and my big sword.
but and it's just like as in terms of like meeting friends and meeting new people, like I somebody told me the other day, they made a comment when they saw this podcast that they thought it was amazing
Damn.
that we also talk to each other after, over 10 years, like going on 20 years now. And, I think a big part of what helped that is video games.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Like if we weren't on Xbox all the time or PlayStation, as much as we were or are, there's a lot of people who get out of high school, college, go those type of ways, and then don't talk to each other for like 10 years. Like we've basically been talking to each other every day for this entirety of our lives, like post school.
Mhm.
Think video games helped with that a lot and played a big part in that. So it definitely does bring people together and keep people close. And it's not just like a silly thing to do to kill time, like it is, but you
There's
know,
more aspects to it for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I got.
Or that's very true. Um, kind of how I feel about video games. Uh, I will say I love the positives of video games, like the escape that you get from. I can't even really say escape from reality. You're not escaping reality. You're just
Taking a break.
taking, not even really taking a break. You're still in reality. Like it's not like you playing a video game isn't a part of the core space that we all live in. You're just, tapping into, a different part of you as you're playing a game. You're tapping into a different comfort, or some people don't even play video games for comfort. Some people play video games to achieve specifically,
Mhm.
or for competition, because not all games are built like a solo adventure game. Some of them are just sports games. I do play sports games. I was playing FIFA, I was playing 2K. That's not the only games that I play, but like those are, depending on what modes you're playing in, those are competitive. You're going against another person. It's like with any fighting games, or you know they have their own adventure game with your created, which are my players,
Right.
and stuff like that. So um, using video games as a tool to, one, kind of just take a step back, and become a part of a uh different place for a moment, and just train your brain. And it's kind of, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm busy working on other stuff right now. um yeah, no, video games are a positive to me, but with anything that you kind of become a part of, like Light was saying, you kind of get the video games kind of have a negative connotation in general. I found myself to the you know I found myself being distracted by video games at times, where if I had something to do, I would turn on Destiny, and I'd be at work like, dang, can't wait to get home to raid. Like, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that's kind of how I was, and I kind of had to take a moment away from it just so I can refocus my myself in life, and try to achieve some goals
Mhm.
outside of the moon and Saturn and all that other stuff, whatever levels you
yeah.
had in Destiny.
Nessus.
Fuck
Nessus,
yeah.
Nessus, they had Saturn too, I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, no, for real, I wouldn't know as many. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't know any of you other than Sento if it wasn't for video games, because that's kind of what brought us together. That glue that held us going to the teen center. Playing those little Halo tournaments.
Yeah. Thanks for your kind words, Gio. That means a lot. And real
Yeah.
quick, thanks for the opportunity to just be on this podcast and talking to you, listen to my crazy shit. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for the opportunity. And I love all you guys. Again,
sir.
thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Anything else, Gio?
No, that's video games are fun, and let them remain fun. If you get too caught up in competitiveness, it becomes a job. And if it's a job, it's
Oh no,
not
if
fun.
you losing, you ain't having fun. Don't get it twisted.
Don't
Gio
get
the
it.
only type of person. Gio the only person that be taking like 10 L's and then get one win and just throw you in the dirt. He's like, that's what you get. I'm the champion, baby. I'm the champion. I'm just like,
Whoa! Nah!
baby. I remember,
No!
no, I remember. No,
In
I
what-
remember you. We were
in
playing
what
third
game?
strike. We were playing
Bruh.
third strike. I was mopping
Fuck
you
yeah.
up, and then you get one win on me. You made me feel like I lost the whole time. I was just like, oh baby, you see that combo? You see that combo? Oh, you better get out of here. I'm done. And I look at it. I look at the record. I said, Joe, if you don't get out of my room, you lost.
You
He's
can
like,
have fun.
I know, but I made you feel like you lost. I was like, oh.
I play mind games with
You
Debo.
play mind games.
I play mind games with Debo. Yeah, I'll be quiet.
I was so mad.
Bro.
When I'll be talking again.
He made me feel like I lost the whole time.
Bro.
That's how I make it. That's how I get you.
I was like,
Mind
get
games.
off my game. I had to kick him off. I was like, get off. Made you feel like, you see that can combo? Like,
You see that, Debo?
you in the
feel
corner,
every-
you feeling pressured.
Feel every piece. But what about Tekken? It's whole cow, so shut up. Don't worry about it.
Take it. Oh,
Yeah.
let's not
challenge.
lie. Let's start spreading lies.
Yeah, it's like- it's something
You know
you.
who sits upon the throne? It's me.
Out of y'all two?
Anyway.
Out of, out of y'all, out of everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, all right, here we go.
I don't want that.
fuck.
No. There was a
Okay.
fight. There was a fighting game that you straight up couldn't hold me in though. I can't even remember what it is.
I can't remember what it was either. It's like normally, and you like to say normally when I lose like that, I just don't want to play it anymore, and that's true. It was like, I dismissed it. I was like,
He was like,
tossed
what?
it.
He's
Tossed
like,
the
I don't.
memory.
He was like, I don't play this game no more. No,
I don't want
forget
to
it.
fucking do that.
Forgot what it was.
I don't wanna-
Bro.
You couldn't hold me at Def Jam 5 for NY, that's for sure.
That's
we-
not.
we went back and forth. You played it though. You played it way more than I did.
My record was
You-
my record was untarnished until somebody played on my profile, and then I was like, you know what? Forget about this.
Your character was stacked on that game.
Oh my god.
I think
Sorry.
that about closes it out. I'll probably say my final piece and then let you guys do your shout outs. And we can call it good. So for me, pretty much everything you guys said is like all legitimate. Like there's a lot of people I probably wouldn't have as great of a connection with if it wasn't for video games and for anime and for sports. So like it's definitely one of those things that ties us together. But like the piece that, and I guess Sento, you kind of harped on this a little bit
Oh my.
as far as like developing different skills like math skills and whatnot and how that relates to video games. I would say maybe Gio, you might be able to say the same thing since you have an older brother, but me playing Kel over the years and playing all y'all, get my butt smacked in every single game over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
and over.
Yeah. And over and over and over and over again. And then
Over
like
and over again.
Anything is
Going back to,
possible.
going back
like
to that country.
and
Over
having
and over
to having to
again.
deal with that, dude, like one, that's mental fortitude that I've had to develop.
Mental for the true.
Mental fortitude. Like Kel wasn't a trash talker, but getting smacked and then not saying anything. But someone smacks you up in a game and doesn't say anything the whole time. That's like I think that's way worse than someone actually trash talking you. I feel that because like I do that to some people and like they get mad and they leave. So I understand. But the mental fortitude that you build up from just like losing over and over again and like having to develop counterplay to if you're playing competitively, developing counterplay to different things and like applying that to real life, which I hope people actually realize that these things really do overlap. Like you can change up your strategy if you're messing up in your life right now and like you're not understanding why stuff isn't working out. Like you can literally look at what you're doing, try it one more time, and see if you change up one variable and you can fix your whole situation. It's hard to do, but if you do that, then like you can really change your life. But that's just me.
Bars.
Bars.
On that note, let you guys do your shout outs. Guys got something to shout out, whatever.
Yeah. Real quick,
Announcements.
I want to thank my homie Nell for this shirt. This Black Wall Street shirt. Told her I'd give her a shout out. You know,
That's
Remember
tight.
dope.
1921?
Yeah, just remembering Black History with Black History Month coming up. I'll have a link soon for get in contact if anybody wants one. So that's all I got.
Cool.
Look up Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. You literally don't even have to Google what happened, but that's another topic for another time. But just
I'm sure
look that up.
we'll talk about it within the next month.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Announcements. About to post up a video.
I'll just say thank you for all your guys. I love you. This opportunity just to be on this podcast and share my thoughts really means a lot to me in the world, and I'm just very glad. And I love you guys.
Word. Love you too, Nate.
Love you, dude.
Love you,
God,
Nate.
God bless.
Gio Cinto.
Sento shout outs? No? Yeah.
Not even I can think of at the top of the head.
Shout out to
Alright,
Seven's
shout out, everybody.
Hands.
I'm gonna shout out to these. No, I'm gonna shout out. Sento. Congratulations once again for getting engaged. It's pretty dope.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It's really really dope. Tell Dilly I said what's up. Crib.
Will do.
But shout out mom and dad because I went home and they got me all this pasta. I'm hyped.
Oh yeah, the chicken Alfredo.
Shout out, a lot of my other friends in the music industry right now. My boy Larry, we're working hard right now, and I feel like we're going places. So be on the lookout for Corporate Thugs coming up. Shout out Chrysalis Collective once again. That is the team. We got some things on the way. I can't really divulge just yet. But we got something coming. Hopefully. Yeah. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Alright, cool. Shout out to all the people that have been watching videos so far. Somehow we got like 1,000 views on on the Animaniacs thing. I know people are probably just like scoping up that video so hard, dude.
That junk is funny.
Just wait to the 2023 when the Shining Manor Table Manners album drops.
Hey,
I'm telling you, it's
we need
fire.
that.
Fire.
But shout out to the people watching the videos. Shout out to the people subscribing. Got like 27 subscribers so far.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
yeah.
super hyped about that. Anything else? Go follow Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at PerspekTev, spelled as it
TikTok.
is
All I gotta
below.
say is that video games or can be.
Hey, you were supposed to have a final thought already. What?
I'm sorry.
Ah!
Sorry.
I'm hurt.
Thank you, Nate.
Am I? I'm so sorry. I have Leonardo DiCaprio in my background. That's my final thought.
All right. Well, to Leonardo DiCaprio and everybody else, man. Thank you guys for watching
outs.
and goodbye.
See ya.
Yo, Nate.